Welcome, guys. This isn't really a tutorial today as such, but I'm just going to basically be going through the towers really quickly in which ones I think personally are worth investing in, um, and which ones are better for normal modes and endless modes and such. At the end of the day, this is all my opinion in my viewpoints on towers or toys in this game. Um, so you could either go by what I say, or you can try it for yourself and then go by what you think of the toy instead. It's up to you, but with that being said, we'll crack on with this. Okay, so first of all, we'll start in the higher end bands because a lot of people will tend to go with the higher end bands once they unlock them down the line. So, Code Developer, um, personally, I don't use this one anymore, or it's very rare I use this one anymore because of its rework. I wouldn't really say it's that good, unless you potentially put it in endless mode. But even then, it doesn't really do much because of how expensive it is. Even if you had make a deal to lower the cost of it, it still doesn't do much. Because I figured out, I think you need to get this to 120 before you can do an instant freeze. So what do I mean by that? Basically, when this freezes, it has a 30-second cooldown. So you would have to get this roughly around to a level 120 before it loops again and again and again, if you get what I'm saying. So it's quite a lot on that one. I can't pronounce this one. Arifa? Arifa? I think that's how you pronounce it. Um, this one again, I never used personally in normal mode or endless mode. I think this is technically better in normal mode than it is endless mode, but I could be wrong because I don't use this in endless mode at all. Um, her damage is pretty weak as well. I don't really like her, and her abilities don't really last long at all. I know obviously when you get it to that, it goes into permanent form, but even then, I think she's still too expensive to upgrade. 4,000 to upgrade, and this one should be decreased because the valuing of this toy is just stupid. It doesn't make any sense at all. Frost Empress, yes, I do like this one. I don't use it anymore though, because I don't need to because of my summon farm strat that I do. This can be good in the right situations for certain mods, but overall, the rework again, I wouldn't say it's worth 100% going for it, but like I said, it is one I do like using at times and can be quite good for certain maps and certain mods, but not a lot. Yet again, this is another ridiculous overpriced unit, 5,000 per upgrade, and I definitely think that should be lower. This should be, I think, 350 instead, and that one should be 350 or 400 instead as well. Lords, I do like. This one I find very balanced. Um, can be very good as well against taking out just the annoying units that just want to escape, like fast units, and does attack all units when it uses its ability. Um, okay, so this toy has obviously been changed because it didn't used to do that before. Uh, Lord basically used to increase the damage by one, but now it seems like toys that are in its ability range have damage plus 8 and can be stacked 10 times. So if you have 10 of them, you could stack it 80% damage boost. Um, I didn't realize that they've changed it, which is a shame because I used to love using this unit. But it's interesting to see that because sometimes this is one thing I dislike about the game is that they change units, but they don't record it in the changes because it's technically not a proper update, which I find very frustrating. But yeah, I definitely do like Lord, but obviously now that they changed it, I think again that should be reduced because it's not as good as it used to. Now, Mega is a wild card for me personally because it used to be really, really overpowered. And then with the nerf it had, it's kind of one of those where do you use it, do you not use it? Personally, I would say this is better for endless mode more than anything, or very, very quick early games for um, normal runs. But apart from that, I would say he's pretty useless. I think the pricing on this one is very fair actually, just because of how much damage it gives. But apart from that, I would say don't really go with this one. President, I do like. This one is very powerful with the right setup. Um, I feel like possibly, I don't know, this is just me. I feel like it could be increased by 1,000 more. Um, because this is more of a booster, whereas a lot of the booster units tend to be a lot cheaper for some strange reason, which I think they should be more expensive because you're going to boost your team more down the line because the game's getting basically more strategic, where you have to have supports in the game. It's a bit strange how to explain that, but I feel like this could be more expensive. It is a very overpowered once you have tree with this. Obviously, if you do put them on the tree, you won't be able to use your ability, but you do get crazy amounts of range by doing that. Or the other option you can do is put this with clowns, so you can still use your ability, but it's not permanent, the range boost. Right, so suns. Suns I really dislike now because the nerf of them has made them so weak that they're not even really good to go with. Um, they are good for hidden base to remove hidden, but apart from that, I would say that's all they're really good for now. Is just to remove the hidden. They can be quite good for attacking the boss because obviously with suns, once you get it to the fifth ability, you have four beams then, and one of them will always lock onto the boss. I think one of them basically targets last, one of them targets strong, I think, one of them targets the boss, and then one of them targets first. I think that's how it works or something. Um, but overall, I would say it's not worth going, and especially with the rework as well. I think this needs reducing in the upgrade costs. Keep the price the same on it though, because it is a useful tower to use, but just reduce the upgrade cost on this. Zeds. Okay. Zeds, personally, I dislike now. The nerf has really, really hurt them badly, where they can't spawn in unless if all Zeds are destroyed now. Now, in my opinion, they've messed this one up because what I would have done is on the spawn time, I would have made it just slightly longer. Um, Instead of making it so you have to have all the Zeds destroyed and then they spawn in. Now, I don't know if you guys agree with me on that or not, but I think that's what they should have done. The upgrade price on this, personally, I would say needs reducing again because the nerf on this has made them so bad that they're not even worth upgrading. Literally. So I reckon that needs to come down at least to 3,000 because it's just awful, this toy now. Um, Well, Maddie, I'm not even going to bother reviewing because this toy is just awful. It's the worst toy that costs crazy amounts. This toy can be good for Endless if you're really going to invest in it, but I just don't know why it's even that much because this toy is just terrible all over. Yes, it does very high amounts of damage because it um, can deal up to triple damage, but it's just terrible. The range isn't even worth it, and the upgrades as well on it, personally, I would say is bad as well. So this toy just in general needs reducing in value. FF Corrupted. Uh, yes, this is a good toy. I do like using this at times. I feel like the damage as well is very decent for this toy, and the price in is very nice for the upgrades. The abilities on them are quite good. Obviously, you deal double damage if you corrupt the enemy. The only thing I dislike with this toy is that it doesn't last long, and then the ability is quite slow in my opinion. I don't know if you guys agree with me on that or not, but I find that the ability is very, very slow, and it could be improved by a lot. I feel like the pricing as well should come down just slightly to 400, not 450. Okay, so the next one, um, this one, Keith. I know this used to be used quite a bit. I'm not sure if it's still used quite a lot anymore. His ability is very, very useful if you set him to last, almost said Strongnam. You want a map that you've got a clear straight run. If you set this to last, then you will always deal damage to those enemies on all of them in that same area. The speed on this unit is quite good. I do find this unit very reasonable for the speed. The only downfall I would say with this toy is damage more than anything. Um, but apart from that, I would say this toy is pretty good. The pricing I would say is okay with this toy. Personally, I would say this is more of a normal runner than a endless runner. Um, but at the end of the day, it comes down to what your preferences are. Okay, so Make a Deal is another wild card. The reason why I'd say it's a wild card is because you can use this in normal runs if you have the correct build for it, or the best option is to use this in Endless. If you don't use Make a Deal in Endless, then you're doing something wrong. Seriously, if you don't use this in Endless mode. Okay, so Queen Mab of the Fae. Uh, she's had a complete new rework. Um, Personally, I do like the rework of what she does because it says all summons have damage 15% and can be stacked 10 times. I don't know if this is just for her fairies alone or it's for other summon units, but if it is for other summon units, it doesn't show for some strange reason. So I feel like that needs fixing, or if it's only for Faye, it's on her fairies that they need to um, make it more clear. So this one, not really a endless runner in my opinion. You can use this for normal run, but even then, I hardly ever see anyone using these at all. So I feel like they still need a rebalance or something to make them better because it seems like no one ever uses them.